All right, taking a look at a few things from the iRacing Season 2 build. A few of the main things I was kind of looking forward to was, of course, the SRX car, me being a short track guy, and Millbridge. So I don't know if we'll do a whole lot of Millbridge in this video. I'm not a dirt track racer. Certainly think it's cool that it's on the sim. I'm from North Carolina, Raleigh. That's about, I don't know, 100 and something, 70, 60 miles west of me. Haven't been to a race there, but neat that it's in the sim. I've seen it. I've flown the drone, taken a few pictures of it. So I know where it's at, but I just have not been to a race there. Anyway, biggest thing I'm looking forward to is the SRX car, which we got, let's see, booted up right here. Got the SRX. Let's take it to, let's see, Five Flags Speedway, a track that SRX has been to in one of their 3 seasons, 4 seasons. I think it's 3 seasons before their a bit unexpected shortening of their season, unfortunately. Um, Hopefully it comes back. I'm crossing my fingers that it comes back because it was a really, really cool series. I enjoyed it a lot more when it was with the Ray Evernham, when it was kind of under him and under his kind of guidance. I think it was a lot more entertaining when we had the local drivers, the ringers, and whatnot in there. It was cool to see them go up against the old guys, the veterans, the Tony Stewarts and whatnot. But I enjoyed watching those guys race against them more than the actual cup drivers. As odd as that might sound, I like the ringers and the hot shoes from the local short tracks. The people that actually kind of dominate this track actually go up against some of the big time guys. I just didn't really enjoy seeing the Chase Elliott's, the who all was in there, Haley Deegan, which was kind of just an easy gimme for the guys, I guess, because she's popular, but I don't think she really fit in the SRX. Um, at least not yet. If she proves herself a little bit more, then yeah, maybe. But still, I just really didn't enjoy seeing the full-time drivers compete in it as much, from the truck, Xfinity or Cup. The only one that I would have had like an exception for would be somebody like a Josh Berry or Ryan Kreese or somebody who is an avid late model stock driver, an avid tour mod driver or something that I think would have been a little bit more fitting than like a Haley Deegan or something. But anyway, let's take a few laps. Gotta get kind of used to this car and the way it drives. First impression seems like it's a little tight through the corner of the way through the corner. It can be a little snappy on the exit, as we can see, if you're not careful, apparently. So it's not just hammer down like what the late model stock is, which is really a shortcoming that I feel like the late model stock was. I was really kind of disappointed with that release. I wish they kept it driving the same way that the old one did, except maybe just give it a little bit more horsepower. As I watched the track like crazy. See if I can get a decent lap in here. Gosh, it's just so tight, like on the exit. You got to be careful with that. It just does not. It doesn't drive like a late model, or it doesn't drive like a super late model. So try to find that like in between. Yeah, I think if they could knock out that like last little bit of tightness in the center, and of course that can just be with the setups, of course. As we kind of develop some custom setups and kind of get into the actual like nooks and crannies of the car, we can get it to kind of drive more the way we would like. But overall, this is kind of the way that I would kind of expect the late model to drive more so. This is kind of the direction that I wanted the late model to be, where it doesn't drive perfectly, it doesn't want to turn the most, but it actually has a little bit of power to actually kind of step off from under you. You can't just completely mash the throttle. Doesn't feel like it's got unlimited grip in the corner. Um, so it's not got the most power, but it still wants to step out from under you. So I feel pretty good about that. Like I said, just that little bit of thing, like where it's a little bit tight, 3/4 of the way off the throttle, somewhere between middle of the corner and 3/4 off, and then it's kind of tight or loose on exit if you're too heavy on the throttle. It's also probably got a lot to do with having a little bit more wheel input into it, and then once it actually kind of like throttles up, that wheel input kind of comes around and catches you a little bit if you're not careful. But let's see, let's take a look at just the car overall, kind of up close. I really like the way they have this like standard SRX livery. I don't really know what else we have in the options as far as custom paints. I know that we probably have trading paints open and whatnot, so I'll be kind of curious to see what people do as far as trading paints goes for the car, which would be kind of odd seeing like a completely redone like cup car look on a SRX car. But hopefully we do have a little bit of customization with the SRX like in the base iRacing paints, but it looks good, man. Like overall, let's see if I can get like a chase and just kind of look around the car a little bit. Yeah, looks great, sounds good. Overall, I like the sound. Like the way it kind of drives. Again, if we can kind of get some things kind of tuned in and brought in, I might try just a little bit bigger of a track, like a. Let's try to get to a track that I always wish they would have gone to. I think they were going to, but just never got there. I think it was something maybe Ray Evernham was kind of pushing a little bit more. But I really wanted to see these cars go to Wilkesboro. Got to see them once. Got to see them race at South Boston, that one race last year. And that was a really fun race to go to. They went to Motor Mile, which is another track that's kind of close to me. It's just short of 200 miles, like northwest of me. So, of course, got to kind of rep that track. Unfortunately, I don't know if that track has got too many more years. They don't have a schedule this year. Their lease finished up at the end of this last year and it just didn't get renewed. So, hopefully this track
give us a few clean laps to get our fuel numbers.
Be around for at least a couple more years. It was a neat track to go to. It's just the attendance wasn't there. I don't even think the attendance for the SRX race was there whenever they were there last year, I think it was. So that was certainly a bummer. But yeah, I hope we get to see SRX in the future. But like I said, okay, a little bit loose. Hold up, gotta watch my throttle or watch my braking. I just wish they would bring back the ringers, bring back you know, the kind of different tracks too, because you look at the schedule from the last couple seasons, it seemed like there was a lot of repeat tracks. I mean, you look at Stafford. Stafford's been on the schedule every season. It was on the last 3 years, and it was supposed to be on the schedule for this year. So, as kind of neat of a track Stafford is, it just kind of, you know, lost its interest. Like whenever the Stafford race came around, I never got excited for it because I felt like I'd seen the show before. That was kind of the neat thing about me, like watching the series, was showcasing different short tracks.
That was your fastest lap of the session.
It was
We've
neat.
got good fuel
Seeing
data.
Thunder Road was going to be on there, but of course that race never happened. Unfortunately, it was going to be on the schedule again this year. That again didn't happen. So they kind of screwed those tracks. Looking at the schedule this year, it's kind of a repeat of everything we've seen before. Again, at Stafford, at Thunder Road,
That was your fastest lap of the session.
excusable because again, it wasn't able to race last year. Then at Stafford, Eldora was back on it. Slinger was back on it, which Slinger was a cool race, and I was kind of okay with that. Had like a 1 year hiatus, but yeah, I just wish they could have gone to like a Southern National or again back to Wilkesboro or Five Flags was kind of cool. But just kind of hit some new tracks. Like don't go to at very least keep like 1 to 2 tracks from the season previous, but then the rest of the tracks I was really kind of expecting to be new ones. and nothing of the same, just to kind of keep it new and fresh and, you know, kind of something to look forward to. And it gave everybody a shot to see the series, because they were kind of floating around, going to different tracks. You were always kind of like, oh, I wonder what the schedule's going to look like this year. Am I going to have a race near me? Is it going to be my home track? But it just kind of became more and more evident that they were just more willing to go to these same tracks every year. But yeah, so again, still feels kind of tight. I never really got like a hot lap in here. Let me see if I can stop it and try to get like more of a hot lap. If I can do a hot lap. Let's see. Still kind of getting a feel for the way this car drives and how to drive it. Yeah, I need to dial that back. God. Let's not do that, please. Alright. Try to have myself not look like a short track rookie here. Yeah, I even waited for like that rotation on back end. I still couldn't like react to it quick enough. Yeah, it's really weird on like the exits. I don't know. It just feels like the back end just wants to come around even when it shouldn't. I don't feel any kind of indication that it's going to come back around, which is kind of the weird thing. See if I can get like a later, wider entry to have a straighter exit. That ain't it. Yeah, it's certainly a car that I'm gonna have to get used to. I'm gonna have to drive it a little bit more. Got to get a couple buddies to put up a race, but I think that's gonna do it for this car, at least for now. Let me go to Eldora and let me show you how absolutely terrible I am on dirt. But if the asphalt representation was anything, then this is definitely going to look even worse, because I don't do a whole lot of dirt, nor am I very good at it. So hopefully I don't make a complete fool out of myself, any more so than I have already. Don't really expect this to drive like a dirt car. I'm sure it's just going to drive like a stock chassis on dirt, like everything else has just been like that.
Give us a few clean laps to get our fuel numbers.
I mean, not terrible. Okay, it's actually not too bad. Let's see if I can try to get up top a little bit more. Yeah, like I said, definitely doesn't drive like a late model or a super late model. But I wouldn't expect it to. It's not supposed to. So it drives about like I would expect a like standard stock car to drive on dirt. Oh, now there's the wall.
We've got good fuel data.
Let's see if I can get a little lower. My wheel is a little bit too stiff for dirt. I can't make the corrections that I
We
need
got
to.
damage on the front end.
I got the asphalt set up in the wheel. But yeah, pretty happy with it, really. I was cautiously optimistic with the car. Now I can kind of say I'm more optimistic about it. So definitely look forward to trying it at different tracks. Got to do some races with a couple buddies to see how it actually does in competition. But everything that I've seen, pretty happy with it, especially once we get more setups and like what I was saying. So, got to test out a couple other things. I do want to try what was a micro sprint or something. I might just try that a little bit on my own. But this was the main car that I kind of wanted to go over. So anyway, I'm gonna call it there, and I'm gonna go try some other stuff for tonight. I got a league race tonight, so yeah, it should be a lot of fun.